Hey y'all, welcome to SoulsReaper Healing. I want to thank you for your likes, shares, and subscribes. Links to support the channel are in the description box below. I'm going to give this a couple more minutes and see if we have anybody come on. I'm still working with the software, so bear with me. Not ever been live before, guys, so this is one of those face the fear and do it anyway moments. But I will go ahead and say I did pull a card from the Sacred Geometry Oracle, and the card that we got out for just general for everybody is Remembrance. I get this card quite often. 38, which equals an 11. Frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul and body, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. And then on the bottom was throat chakra, ironically enough. The frequency of the throat chakra, the blue flower of life, supports our self-expression and our sense of peace and balance. I don't know how well you guys can... I'm getting used to where this camera is, so bear with me. Blue, vibrant. So, yeah. So, I'm trying to see. I don't know how this looks on your all's end. Open it. Clear and you guys can hear me okay. Just let me know. Basically doing 3-card spreads for general readings. And for right now I have 2 different spreads. I have the shadow spread, so if you're wanting to find out what your current influence is, like what you're currently working on right now in your soul's growth. The other spread I have is the spirit animal spread, and that one is a current energy spread. And also kind of tells you what spirit animals are with you, guiding you. So I have that one as well. If you would like to ask a question, I ask for a small donation of $11, and my Cash App information and PayPal is in the description box below. So if you're interested and you would like to ask a question, that information is in that box. If you just want to donate to the channel, same links are there, Cash App, PayPal. So, I guess since we don't have any, it's not showing I have anybody popping up. So, I'm going to go ahead and do a general for the collective. And see collective energy. What is the collective current influence? Collective energy. This deck is the Black Moon Astrology Oracle. I use this deck quite a bit too, especially in the readings. Okay. Drop some on the floor. Number 8, Chiron Healing. Someone that come out for everybody. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if any of you know what your Chiron is. But you can look in your birth chart, and it's like this little symbol. It kind of looks like headphones on your birth chart. And it'll tell you what sign is in your Chiron. And then you can research that. Just whatever your Chiron is, like Chiron and Aries, Chiron and whatever it is, Chiron and whatever. And it can be a little more in-depth if you put in what house it's in. Alright, now I'm going to find out, what our guidance is. The bottom of the deck is 5th house creativity, which is an 11. Okay, kitty cat hair on there. Holding it crooked. Alright. Guidance. Collective. Guidance for the collective energy. What's the guidance for the collective? Got growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. I know you guys probably can't see these, that's why I'm trying to show them to you. Bottom of the deck, surrender. I can release my need to control. That one is very interesting, especially if you have a lot of fire in your chart. Those of us that have a lot of fire, we know. And those of us who are earth signs also have that stubborn aspect of needing to control everything. Alright, this deck is the Numerology Oracle. The other one was the Soul's Journey. This one I'm using for clarity over what we got going on. This is a spread I used for the last 2 series of videos that I did. And this is basically just, it's kind of, I call it the shadow spread, so it kind of gives light to shadow work that we're doing at this time. So let's see what the overall clarity is for this clarity from the collective over this spread. And if I don't get any viewers on the live, I will, I'll do another live later. This one's just kind of a test run. Okay, you got leadership. I've had this deck for a while and I've never gotten this card. It's an 81, which equals a 9. It's very vibrant and red. I'm sure you can see that color on that card. Sorry if I'm a little shaky, guys. My first live. I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone here, guys, so. Bottom of the deck is Pride. And that is a 19. 9 plus 1 is 10, so I kind of feel like this is, with that 10 being there, 10s are completion, because that's a 1. You're starting back over. So with us being in retrograde, Mercury being in retrograde right now, or Mercury, the way I see it as Mercury is, it kind of gives us that time to reevaluate, with the retrograde, the re part, it kind of gives you that, can reevaluate certain things, whatever has been, things that we've learned, whatever's been established, old patterns, old mechanisms, old things of coping skills, things like that. We're reevaluating all those things in like what we do in everyday life. And also discovering, certain things, having downloads with maybe patterns that we didn't see before. Maybe those were the ones that were deep down within inside of us. But I feel like that's what this healing is. You guys have probably recently had an epiphany moment. I know a lot of us have been having a lot of epiphany moments. One second. And with this leadership and pride, because these two here, this is clarity over the Black Moon Astrology and the guidance for what needs to be done. So I'll go ahead and just not get ahead of myself and not get sideways. I start over here with this. With the growth card, I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. And then the surrender, releasing control. I feel like that's what the guidance is we're finally stepping into this leadership and allowing the growth, the expansion in consciousness, instead of being in a state of control, a state of, well, if I don't do this, and this, then, what will happen? It's kind of being stuck in that space of, because honestly, guys, I know from my own experience, an old pattern of mine, just from my own environment, I grew up around, the control aspect. Everything was very controlling. It was very, you do this, and this, and then the next day we repeat that. And if that didn't happen, then it seemed like chaos, kind of. But that was just a mindset or a belief that if it wasn't being handled in a certain way, it would get out of control, and then what, And it was always one of those to where you look at it like it's, if I don't have control of it, it's going to go to Hades in a handbasket. I don't know how to handle this. It has to be this way, or what do I do? It's not knowing. It's not knowing that is scary, and I understand that very much. And this is the energy that we're in right now. Is we're in the energy of releasing that control instead of being stuck in this old pattern of belief, thinking that we have to control everything. We're letting go of that. We're embracing the changes, the new growth, because we want to evolve. We want to move forward in life. We don't want to stay stuck in stagnation. Excuse me. I'm gonna sneeze. I can feel it. Had some incense. Sorry. I felt it and it went away. So it's a release of control. Some of you are like me, or have been in a space like me, where, and this might have been a pattern for you guys, like it was for myself. Wanting to control and feeling like that was the only thing, that if you kept that pattern of control in place, that you would be able to triumph over this, that, and all, and not have any issues, or not have any problems. But on the clarity side of this, it's leadership and pride. But like I said, pride is a 19, and that equals a 10, which breaks down to a 1, so new beginnings. I really feel like the clarity over this is saying that for us to be, or for us to step into a leadership position, this pride part, we're releasing the way that we looked at pride. And in this state of leadership, in order to be leaders, we know there's a lot that comes with it. But I can't, with this pride, I feel it's ego. And I don't think there is a card in this deck that says ego. I'm pretty sure there's not. But I can check real quick. I don't think there is one that says ego, but I really think that's what the pride card represents. I can just look and see. Number 19. This card indicates a need to swallow your pride to improve your current situation and your quality of life. By admitting when you're wrong and choosing to see another's point of view, whether this person is right or wrong, you raise your vibration, which brings you closer to your dreams. The bottom line is, if you want to create a happy, harmonious life, you must let go of your need to be right or in control. To overpower, belittle, or punish another goes against the nature of your soul and takes you out of alignment. Yet, when you have the courage to own up to your mistakes, you align yourself with Source. Admitting when you're wrong builds character, inner strength, and self-esteem. It opens the door for resolution and creates better relationships with others. Stubbornness and pride get you nowhere, but humility and compromise brings you closer to the realization of your dreams. So, yeah. In a nutshell, ego, just letting go of the need to be right. understanding that we're human, we all make mistakes, we all make, choices. Sometimes they're not necessarily for our best and highest good. But yeah, that's what we're being asked right now. And, with this being the overall energy for the collective remembrance, we're remembering, with the re, there we go with the re again, but we are remembering a lot of things that we've been through, but we're seeing it from a different side of the coin. We're seeing it from the healing standpoint of, okay, I have learned these lessons, I have healed these patterns, beliefs, etc., etc. I've healed these things within me, and now I'm going to turn around and I'm going to apply those to my life. And that's where your South Node comes into play, because your South Node is what you did previously in a previous life. It's something that you've already learned, something you already have well established. You understand everything about it, whatever your South Node is, and you have utilized that as your South Node, and you have, with this healing, you're learning to add that into your everyday life. And that's also where the leadership comes in, implementing the things that you've learned into what you do now, going towards your North Node, because a lot of us are pushing forward towards our North Node, leaving our past stuff behind, stepping outside the box. Hello, stepping out of the box, releasing fear. And, with this being here on the very bottom, this creativity card, and the way I kind of look at the bottom is, subconscious, things like that. But with this being the bottom, I really feel like, and underneath that is the Cancer I Feel card. So opening up the heart chakra, the nurturing side of yourself, to allow this creativity to flow. So whatever it is that you guys are passionate about, whatever it is, that just fills you up with joy, that just makes you feel alive, that's for your highest good and the highest good of others. You're allowing this creativity to flow. You're healing this within yourself so that you can move forward. We're not letting it stop us anymore, guys. I know I've been wanting to do a live for a while now, and it just seemed like something always came up, and it was just like, I'll do it later, yeah. And that was because I had to face some things within myself. I still had some issues. I think it was, last Thursday, I had an epiphany moment. And I realized that as a child, I believed I wasn't seen or heard. So I created a belief that supported that theory, that supported what my inner child believed. So I hid myself from the world because of that belief, creating different versions of myself, and my inner child believed that would keep me safe, that would keep us safe, my inner child and me. In turn, others in my life would project this same energy to me. The mirror effect. I felt like I wasn't seen, wasn't important, wasn't heard, wasn't worthy. So people that came into my life would project that to me. yeah, we don't see you. You're not important. You're not heard. You're not worthy. That's the mirror effect. And I always knew that fact, that I didn't feel like I was seen or heard. But at the time, throughout my life, I didn't understand projection. Now I understand how projection works. So what as within, so without. So whatever we are, we will project that. Whether it's a belief, it's a pattern, whatever it is within us that we created a belief around. Usually it's something that we learned as children, because that's when we start building those boundaries, those beliefs, patterns as children, because we want to protect ourselves. So we'll just continually create, avatar upon avatar upon avatar upon avatar. And, these are just different versions of ourselves to just try to keep us safe. But being safe is not living. It keeps us stuck. And it keeps us in a state that is not our higher self, not for our highest good. And that's when, a lot of, you'll hear this on a lot of different channels where people talk about karmic relationships, etc., etc., etc. But the way I see it is, we have all been karmics. We've all been in karmic situations, because those were to teach us lessons. Those were to bring us to a space of understanding of self. But as far as looking upon things as negative, situations, I look at things as, yeah, I've been that. I've been there. But those things I had to go through in order to be where I am right now. A better version of myself. So it's embracing that those were things that we had to go to achieve where we are right now. And letting go of the labels that we give things, that we give situations and people, places, and things. It's releasing that. Because, I'm sure a lot of you, the same as me, can, look back at a time in our life when we're like, oh yeah, I've done that. Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, because we're all human, We've all been karmic. We've all been in karmic situations. That does not make that a bad thing. It just means that it was when we were at a state where we were asleep, unaware, not at a point in our life to where we were ready to step into our shadow work, not at a point in our life where we started to look for something more, started to look at life and say, is this it? There has to be more. There's more out there. There has to be. And so on this channel, I look at those situations that I brought into my own reality because I manifested it, because of what I was inside, and look at those situations as lessons that I had to learn about me. And yeah, a lot of them are pretty tough. But when we get to a space in our journey to where we have built up so much toxicity within ourselves because we either, like me, for instance, I'll use me as an example. I learned to suppress my emotions growing up, because that also falls into that believing I wasn't seen or heard. So I felt like I had to stuff everything down. I had to stuff all, the emotions and feelings and all that down within. And eventually, we all get to that space in our life to where all of that comes up and it turns into a giant explosion. And it's usually something intense, something that blows apart your entire world, basically. And then you reevaluate. You reevaluate what's going on in your life, how you played a role. That's when you start really looking at yourself, shadow work, because then, the question I asked myself after my world blew apart was, what's the common denominator in all of these situations? It was me. I am the common denominator. So that's kind of a way to look at it. But yeah, this was just a little quick reading for you guys. I was going to do some readings if anyone come on, but it's alright. This is just a get my feet wet video, get out there live. I want to do some more live streams. I try to do these during the day because my kiddos are at school, and when they're at home, they're on their computers and doing their thing. So I try to do this when they're at school. That way I can have a little bit of quiet in here when I'm doing these videos. But anyways, I will be doing more live streams. I will try to give a better heads up. This one was kind of very last minute, because I was tinkering with this software and I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to use it, so bear with me. I'm still trying to figure all this stuff out on this software that I'm using. I'm trying to think, what is the name of this software? Streamlabs. And they've got some pretty cool stuff on here. But anyways, so that is what I have for you guys. Hopefully this resonated for some of you. If not, you might check back at a later time. We are in Piscean energy right now with just having that full moon. So try to ground yourself. Go outside in nature. Take a walk, take a jog, take a bike ride. Just go drive in your car. Whatever you need to do to stay grounded in this energy, because it is very floaty and dreamy and things like that. But anywho, well, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for